Plenty of sunshine across really the entirety of KELOLAND today, and that allowed temperatures to really take a nice step forward. But as we go into the night, yes, we'll cool down. We'll be in the 20s, so everything that melted will freeze over again. But we may also deal with a little bit of fog in a couple of areas in central and eastern KELOLAND, so you will want to keep that in mind. And for your day tomorrow, back up into the 40s and 50s for high temperatures. And there's still plenty of warmth by early February standards to go around. We'll talk about that in your extended forecast, but until then, First at 4 starts right now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News, first at 4.
Issues at the southern border take center stage in Pierre. Our team coverage on Governor Kristi Noem's address to lawmakers coming up.
Plus, you might notice smoke in the sky near Custer State Park. We'll tell you about today's prescribed burn. And
an Amber Alert comes to an end in northwest Iowa. We have an update on the case just ahead. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Don Jorgensen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. Governor Kristi Noem says what's happening at the U.S.-Mexico border is a crisis, an invasion, and a test of our patriotism.
This afternoon, the governor met with members of the House and Senate. She told them about her recent trip to Texas, including conversations with Border Patrol agents. Noem made it clear that she blames President Biden for the current immigration problems.
She also talked with lawmakers about what South Dakota can do to support Texas, including the option of sending the National Guard. We have a team of reporters covering today's speech. You can find KELOLAND's Bob Mercer's latest report on our Capitol News Bureau page. KELOLAND's Dan Centella will have a live report from Pierre coming up in a half an hour.
As Noem focused on the southern border, former President Donald Trump focused on the governor's new book. Trump posted a picture of no going back on his social media platform and wrote that is, quote, a hard-hitting story of a very interesting life, end quote. A description of the book says that Noem will name names from the front lines of the battle.
Today in Custer State Park, South Dakota Wildland Fire held a prescribed burn of more than 100 acres of land. The land had been the site of a fire in the past, so today's burn helped clear the area. It also helped crews train for future wildfires.
So prescribed fire is a pre-planned event that we, ahead of time write a burn plan for that has weather parameters and some objectives of what we're trying to meet out here, not just making stuff black.
We'll show you more of today's hands-on training coming up on KELOLAND News at 6.
Here it is, January 31st. I'm doing controlled burns. The weather is just so nice.
Oh, yeah. We'll take more of this, Adam.
There's plenty more where that came from, honestly. Maybe not as mild as today, but certainly still above average, especially by what will eventually become early to, at times, mid-February standards. We'll kick off with a view outside from our downtown camera. 50 at the airport. This is also the warmest day of the month, and that beats the previous mark that was put up yesterday, for that matter. 50, not much of a breeze to speak of, so we have really been eating away at that snowpack to a pretty decent extent. So just how much? Well, that's 24 hours ago. Notice the bullseye of purple and pink around Yankton, southwest of Beersford, and even a couple of localized maximum between Pierre and Huron and around Mitchell and Sioux Falls. That was then. This is now. You notice how everything has retreated, especially toward Yankton and Vermilion. Just a few pockets of 12 inches or so of snowpack still on the ground, but that has greatly shrunk down, especially even over toward eastern and northeastern portions of KELOLAND as we continue to watch that snow melt away pretty effectively, considering we've had just ample amounts of sunshine to go around. There's that 50 in Sioux Falls, and Huron is joining in on the party. 55 in Brookings, 54 Watertown, 51 for Mitchell, 54 in Chamberlain, 60 Rapid City, 65 up in Buffalo, 63 for Phillip at 64 in Valentine. Just imagine if we didn't have the snow in eastern KELOLAND, we will be just like our West River counterparts in terms of temperatures right now, but that's still not bad for the final day of the month. Winds are light and variable, really a non-issue, but it's that lack of a significant breeze that's going to lend itself to that potential for some fog developing overnight as temperatures drop near and below freezing once again, except for more extreme western portions of KELOLAND will be in the mid-30s. For your day tomorrow, once we get rid of the fog, we'll have sunny skies, a light breeze out of the east by northeast, and temperatures climbing again into the upper 40s to near 50. In northeastern KELOLAND, we'll go mid and a couple of low 40s out there, maybe near 50 toward Canby east of Watertown. And out west, it's not the 60s, but 50s are still pretty good from Buffalo to Hot Springs, and 40s extend all the way out toward the Missouri River. We'll go through the rest of your 7-day forecast, which features an opportunity for rain instead of snow, coming up as we head through the hour.
Okay, thanks, Adam. We have an update on that Amber Alert in Iowa that we first told you about yesterday on First at 4. The alert was issued after a 7-year-old boy was taken from his school by his biological father, who has restricted custody of his son. A Woodbury County deputy spotted Brandon DeYoung's vehicle about an hour and a half later, and that's when a pursuit started that crossed parts of Woodbury, Plymouth, and Cherokee counties, at times exceeding speeds of 100 miles an hour. It ended when DeYoung's pickup crashed in a rural area of Plymouth County. Authorities say that DeYoung left the vehicle on foot, carrying the boy through a farm field and in possession of a rifle. Authorities eventually convinced him to peacefully surrender. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
A teenage boy in southern Iowa could face charges after allegedly making threats to 2 Iowa school districts on Tuesday. Marcus McIntosh talks with law enforcement about how the threats were handled and why they credit students for speaking up.
Social media threats led to a lockdown here at Wayne Community High School in Cordon, one that lasted about an hour, one that authorities took very seriously.
The threat was made to go into the school with an AR-15 and shoot.
Wayne County Sheriff Keith Davis says the threat was made by a 14-year-old male who is not a Wayne Community student. Sheriff Davis says students saw the threat and got the ball rolling by speaking up.
It's my understanding it was over Snapchat. It was to a couple friends of his in northern Iowa, and then they did the right thing, see something, say something, and so they reported that to the school this morning, which led to a successful outcome, and communication's a big thing. That's what we need to know.
An email was sent to Wayne Community School parents, guardians, and staff about the external lockdown.
My whole world's at that school.
Allie Schroed has 2 daughters in the building. News of the lockdown shook her to the core, especially in light of recent events.
And then you've seen what happened in Perry, and all you could do was cry. And so, like I said, that's our whole worlds are at that school.
Despite initial fears, Schroed has the utmost confidence the school district puts the students' safety first.
We have a great school, very fast acting, and if there's a problem, they're fast to let us know.
A student we spoke with appreciates the safety efforts, but says the threats are just that.
I don't believe it's going to happen around here, but it's a thought.
The suspect was taken into custody Tuesday morning. Charges against the 14-year-old boy are pending.